Can't say I'm shocked about this one. This was inevitable. I thought he was going to declare for the NFL draft. I was like, he's not. I know he was not coming back to Oklahoma. Transfer or declare for the NFL draft. I'm not shocked that he left. The way he left, I thought he was going to declare, but nope. Jade Haselwood is officially transferring. I'm not mad. He was a wasted talent. He tore his ACL over quarantine last year, actually. But before the season began, he tore his ACL. And that was a huge blow for the receiving group. Tore his ACL, and he was out for probably the whole season. I was very high on Jadon Haselwood when he came into Oklahoma because he was the number one receiver in the country out of Georgia. He was the number one receiver in the country in high school in his class. Then torn ACL happened, and he has not been the same since. He was a guy that could have been very good at Oklahoma. Last year, he tore his ACL, and Marvin Mims stepped up and played well. This year, he came back from torn ACL, got outplayed by Mario Williams, and now Mario Williams is number 2 behind Marvin Mims. Because Haselwood is talented. Absolutely. He is very damn talented. One of the most talented receivers I've seen Oklahoma ever have. With that being said, Oklahoma badly. Now, I watched the presser today. They were just introducing Bob Stoops, which honestly, I would have done the same thing. I would have introduced Bob Stoops. I am waiting until the season is actually over. Then you hire a guy like Brent Venables or Lane Kiffin. Now, can the Sooners get Lane Kiffin? Maybe. I won't be too mad if Lane Kiffin is an Oklahoma Sooner. I won't be mad if Bob Stoops remains the head coach. Now, I doubt it because he has Big Noon Kickoff to handle. In fact, he is going to Big Noon Kickoff. Haselwood just couldn't stay healthy. That's the thing with him. He could not stay healthy. Tore his ACL, and then he kept getting injured. He was doing off-season workouts, and then he tore his ACL while quarantined. And yeah, Bill Bedenbaugh has not left yet. He probably will. He probably will and join Lincoln Riley. By the way, USC is completely fucked. I highly doubt they're going to bring him. I highly doubt he's going to do anything relevant and help them. I highly doubt it. Haselwood was a guy I looked forward to when he came out of high school. I looked forward more to him than Rattler. I knew Rattler was raw as hell, but Haselwood was like, what, top 5 in the country in his class? And he was good as hell out of high school in Georgia. I don't know what high school he went to, but I know he's from Georgia. So I'm thinking he's going to go to Georgia, join Jermaine Burton, and maybe Pickens won't declare because Pickens was injured all year. He tore his ACL. We don't know if he's going to come back, though. That's the thing. We have no idea if Pickens will come back. If I'm Pickens, I'm staying for another year because he tore his ACL. And I feel like he will be the number 1 receiver taken next year if he does stay. You would have Pickens, Haselwood, and Jermaine Burton if Jermaine Burton is staying. If you're a Georgia fan, can you clarify if Jermaine Burton is graduating or not? And can you clarify if he's staying or not? They also got Brock Bowers, who's pretty good, but quarterback's going to be a big, big issue. I don't think Stetson Bennett's the guy. I never thought he was. JT is not bad, but he has been banged up this season. While Stetson Bennett has been red hot, I don't think it's going to work in the end. Georgia is going to be very interesting next season, even if they do get Haselwood, because who's going to be their quarterback? Quarterback's going to be the big issue. Now, Caleb Williams, there's rumors of him transferring. I don't think he's going to transfer. I think he loves OU way too much. Rattler, however, is gone. I knew he was going to transfer. I have that feeling that Rattler is going to head to his home, Arizona State. I think he's going to end up going to Arizona State just to return home. Haselwood, I think, is going to. I don't know where Haselwood's going to go. Maybe Georgia. I don't know. I really don't know in the end. As for OU's coaching, Bob Stoops did say Joe Castiglione, or how you pronounce that last name, and I have talked. They are getting a head coach maybe before the bowl game, and the guy will be introduced after the bowl game, just so it won't be a distraction. But here's something I would do. I would announce the hiring after the bowl game, just so you don't distract the players. Last thing you want is a distracted team in a bowl game because of the guy you just brought in. Brent Venables actually would be great for Oklahoma. Lane Kiffin would be good as well, but Brent Venables would be great because Brent Venables, he's coached against the SEC a lot, and the SEC had every team but one team, and you guys already know what team that is, bowl eligible. And that team is probably the worst team in the Power Five, if not Arizona, Vanderbilt. SEC football is tough, big fucking boy. And you wonder why Alabama just dominates it. Alabama dominates the SEC year after year after year because it's Nick Saban. Bob Stoops outcoached him and beat him with no talent on that OU team aside from Sterling Shepard. A young Sterling Shepard and a young Samaje Perine. Eric Striker wasn't really that good. He was good, but he was not that good. He was definitely one of the best defensive ends we've had in the last 15 years, but he wasn't on the level of the Alabama defensive ends or Mario Edwards out of Florida State that year. All Oklahoma really has to do, make the smart hire. Venables or Kiffin would be good, but I won't be surprised if it's somebody from inside like DeMarco Murray, Bob Stoops possibly. But again, Bob Stoops is on Big Noon Kickoff, so that would complicate things. As for USC, I think they're going to honestly stay about the same. The Pac-12 only got harder. Oregon is a perennial powerhouse in that conference, and they probably will run the Pac-12 for the next few years. Even though they're going to be losing Thibodeau, they're going to get Justin Flo back. They recruit. Mario Cristobal is an unbelievable recruiter. Utah is on the rise, and they have been shitting on everyone in the Pac-12 South. Arizona State is on the rise. UCLA is also on the rise. Washington just hired a new head coach, and Washington also dominated the Pac-12 North. You have Stanford and Arizona, the only really bad teams beside California. And California is a really fucking bad team. California is really bad. Stanford's really bad. Now, the Pac-12 is not no SEC or anything. Nobody's the SEC, actually. I probably would have went to Virginia Tech if I was Lincoln Riley, because Clemson had a down year, and Tony Elliott is still their offensive coordinator, and he's going to ruin DJ. I feel bad for DJ. He's going to get ruined. Next, what else is going on? Pitt, they're losing everybody. Miami, they're not very good. Especially since Miami still has Manny Diaz. Florida State is Florida State. I don't know how Wake Forest will keep this up. NC State sure as hell will not keep this up. NC State is always very inconsistent. Boston College is definitely not going to keep this up. They're going to fall apart eventually. The ACC is probably the worst conference. Every team is mediocre or terrible. You have a few good teams in the Big 12, then you have mediocre teams and terrible teams. Pac-12 has Oregon and Utah and Arizona State. The Big 10 is fucking Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa, Wisconsin. The SEC has who in the fuck knows who's about the SEC because of how good that conference is. And the Pac-12, and then there's the ACC. But I have said it's definitely going to be harder for Lincoln Riley to be good at USC now because you know who else recruits over in California? Nick fucking Saban. Nick Saban is literally the guy who recruits South over in Cal for Alabama. Alabama goes after Southern California. Alabama also goes after Florida. They go after Florida. They go after Southern California. Who else do they go after? I know they go after Louisiana. How many fucking guys do they get from Louisiana over LSU? This is why LSU needed a guy like Lincoln Riley, because he can recruit that area well. But again, I truly believe if you put Lincoln now, Redleaf Brown's going to decommit from Oklahoma. It is very evident he's going to do it. He's going to decommit. He hasn't announced it yet. He will decommit and go to USC. Malachi Nelson, I have no idea where he's going to go. Brandon Ennis, Miami or Alabama. That simple. He's from Miami, goes to school in Plantation, and I know what school he goes to because I watched one of his games. The defensive recruits Oklahoma just lost. No idea where they're going to go. Maybe Clemson, but if Venables leaves, then they might come back. Because if Venables leaves, it's Oklahoma. It's simple. No one else is getting Venables but Oklahoma. That is the only place he goes. Clemson fans have been like, he's likely going to be at Oklahoma. And I've talked to Clemson fans too. Some of them have told me they're likely going to be at Oklahoma, that Venables will likely be at Oklahoma. There's a few that have told me he probably won't. He won't leave. And I'm like, yeah. If he does not, leave Clemson. He will never leave. If he leaves or Oklahoma, that's the only case I could see Venables leaving is the Oklahoma job. Now, I have told so many LSU fans, you're not fucking getting Lincoln Riley. In fact, they're looking at Brian Kelly right now. Brian Kelly's not a bad coach, but can't win the big game. He can't beat the Alabamas. He can't beat the Georgias. He beat Oklahoma once. Then Oklahoma got payback on his ass. He owns the fuck out of USC. He's owned Stanford for a good bit, but Christian McCaffrey owned him. Christian McCaffrey and Bryce Love owned him. What else? I know for damn sure he lost to Clemson in an absolute blowout. And beat him, yes. But Clemson didn't lose that game because of no Trevor Lawrence, because fucking DJ Uiagalelei was throwing all over Notre Dame. Clemson lost because they were without a lot of defensive starters. Also, y'all tend to forget what Venables did to Ryan Day in a playoff game. Now, Ryan Day did it bad to him, but Venables shut down Ryan Day. Venables also shut down Nick Saban's offense. What they did in 2018 is how you slow down Nick Saban. In the national championship game, Florida State did not get a touchdown, nor did they get a field goal. Their only points came on their defense. They got a safety. Venables limited Mike Leach's offense in 2008. The high-scoring Texas Tech Red Raiders, number 2 in the country. And Venables just shut them the fuck down. But for now, Bob Stoops is the guy. I'm looking at in the next couple of weeks that Oklahoma gets their new guy. Likely Venables, but we will see what happens. I will make a stream whenever I get the chance to about the Oklahoma new head coaching hire. Anyways, I'll be out of here. So I'll see y'all. Peace.